Hello, friends. Welcome to our YouTube channel, where we explore the timeless teachings of ancient Stoic philosophers. In today's episode, we delve into the profound wisdom of Stoicism through an inspiring tale. Join us as we embark on a journey to discover the art of avoiding negative thoughts. Let's dive into the heart of ancient Athens and meet Leonidas, a man dedicated to the Stoic way of life. This captivating story will not only entertain, but also enlighten, offering valuable insights on how to transform negativity into strength. So, grab a seat and open your mind as we uncover the power of Stoic philosophy in the face of adversity. Once upon a time, in the ancient city of Athens, there lived a man named Leonidas. He was known throughout the city for his unwavering commitment to the Stoic philosophy. Leonidas believed that the key to a meaningful and content life lay in his ability to control his thoughts and emotions, especially in the face of adversity. One bright morning, as he strolled through the bustling streets of Athens, he overheard a heated argument between two merchants. They were disputing the price of a rare and beautiful tapestry. The argument had grown so intense that a crowd had gathered around to witness the spectacle. Leonidas couldn't help but stop and observe. He watched as the two merchants hurled insults at each other, their faces red with anger. The crowd seemed to revel in the drama, and the tension in the air was palpable. Instead of getting caught up in the commotion, Leonidas decided to take a different approach. He walked closer to the merchants and, in a calm and measured tone, asked, "Gentlemen, may I offer a perspective on your dispute?" The merchants, momentarily taken aback by his serene demeanor, agreed. Leonidas continued, "You both seem passionate about this tapestry, and I can understand why. It's a thing of beauty. But consider this. The tapestry itself has no power over your emotions. It's merely a collection of threads woven together. Your attachment to it and the importance you've placed on it are the sources of your current distress." The merchants exchanged puzzled glances. Leonidas went on, "The Stoics teach us that we should focus on what is within our control and let go of what is not. The price of this tapestry is beyond your control, as are the actions and emotions of the other. What you can control, however, is your response to this situation. You can choose to remain calm, rational, and composed no matter the outcome." The merchants pondered Leonidas's words. Slowly, they realized the truth in his advice. They turned to each other and agreed to settle their dispute amicably. The tension dissipated, and the crowd dispersed, leaving behind a sense of peace. Leonidas continued on his way, his heart content with having shared the Stoic wisdom he held dear. He believed that the Stoic philosophy was not just something to be read or discussed in the abstract. It was a practical way of living, a guiding principle that could be applied to every aspect of life. As he walked through the city, Leonidas encountered a series of challenges that tested his commitment to avoiding negative thoughts. At the marketplace, he witnessed a mother scolding her child, and the child's tears tugged at his heart. Instead of succumbing to sorrow, he reminded himself that he could not control the actions of others and must focus on his own reactions. Later in the day, he faced an unexpected setback in his own life. He had invested in a business venture that seemed promising, but had suddenly taken a turn for the worse. His initial reaction was one of frustration and disappointment, but he quickly caught himself. He remembered the Stoic teaching that he must accept the inevitable and adapt to circumstances beyond his control. He began to seek solutions and remain calm in the face of adversity. One evening, as Leonidas returned to his modest home, he received an unexpected visitor. It was a friend named Agathos, a fellow Stoic philosopher who lived nearby. Agathos had recently faced a series of personal tragedies, including the loss of his wife and home in a fire. Agathos, with tears in his eyes, told Leonidas about his struggles. He spoke of the pain and grief that had consumed him and how he couldn't stop the negative thoughts that plagued his mind. Leonidas knew that this was a crucial moment for his friend, and he was determined to help him find solace in Stoicism. They sat together in Leonidas's small garden under the shade of a wise old olive tree. The evening sun cast a warm golden light over them. Leonidas began by reminding Agathos of the Stoic concept of the dichotomy of control. He said, "My dear friend, we must accept that there are things beyond our control and things within our control. The loss of your wife and home, while tragic, is beyond your control. What you can control, however, is your response to these events." Agathos listened intently as Leonidas continued. "Negative thoughts, my friend, are like weeds in the garden of your mind. They can grow and multiply if you allow them. But just as a wise gardener tends to his garden, you must tend to your thoughts. When a negative thought arises, acknowledge it, but do not let it take root. Instead, replace it with a rational and positive thought." Agathos nodded, his tears beginning to dry. Leonidas went on, "It's natural to grieve and feel sadness, but do not let these emotions control you. Embrace them, but do not let them become a constant companion. Remember the Stoic principle of amor fati, love of fate. Whatever has happened is now a part of your life's story. Embrace it, learn from it, and use it to grow stronger." Agathos wiped away his remaining tears and said, "Leonidas, your words are a balm to my wounded soul. I see the wisdom in what you say, and I will strive to follow the path of Stoicism with renewed determination." Over the following weeks, Leonidas became a mentor to Agathos, guiding him in the ways of Stoicism. They studied the works of ancient Stoic philosophers, engaged in deep philosophical discussions, and practiced mindfulness and self-reflection. Agathos found solace in these teachings and began to regain his emotional equilibrium. One day, as they discussed the nature of negative thoughts and how they could be transformed into valuable lessons, Leonidas shared a parable from his own life. He spoke of a particularly challenging period in his youth when he had faced a series of failures and disappointments. "I had set my heart on becoming a skilled sculptor," Leonidas began, "and I devoted years to perfecting my craft. But despite my dedication, my sculptures were often met with indifference or criticism. I was disheartened and frustrated. Negative thoughts swirled within me, telling me I was a failure and that my efforts were in vain." He continued, "One evening, I went to a local marketplace to observe a master sculptor at work. As I watched him carve a block of marble into a magnificent statue, I noticed that at every stroke of his chisel, a shower of marble dust fell to the ground. It was then that I had a revelation. Just as the dust was the natural byproduct of his creation, so were negative thoughts the byproduct of my journey." Agathos was intrigued and asked, "What did you do, Leonidas? How did you overcome those negative thoughts?" Leonidas smiled and replied, "I decided to embrace those thoughts as the dust of my journey. Instead of fighting them, I acknowledged them and transformed them into motivation. Every time a negative thought arose, I used it as a reminder of my determination to improve and succeed. Over time, I became more skilled, not just in my art, but in managing my thoughts and emotions." As the days turned into months, Agathos and Leonidas continued their philosophical journey. In the end, Leonidas and Agathos found that the Stoic philosophy had not only helped them avoid negative thoughts, but had also transformed their lives. They discovered that by focusing on what they could control and embracing life's challenges, they could find peace and resilience in the face of adversity. Stoicism became their guiding light, leading them towards a life of wisdom, serenity, and contentment.